Beloved ones of God, we're going to look from Songs of Solomon chapter 5. Songs of Solomon chapter 5 gives us a picture of Jesus describing the heart of a bride, and I love how the Passion Translation describes it. Passion Translation, Song of Songs chapter 5 verse 1 says like this: I have gathered from your heart my equal, my bride. I have gathered from my garden all my sacred spices, even my myrrh. I have tasted and enjoyed my wine within you. I have tasted with pleasure my pure milk, my honeycomb, which you yield to me. I delight in gathering my sacred spice, all the fruits of my life I have gathered from within you, my paradise garden. I love how God is using the illustration of a garden. So Jesus is using the illustration of a garden and describing the heart and says, how I love to enjoy the fruits from within, the fruits of my life that is gathered from within you. So my fruits are inside of you, that's what Jesus is so beautifully saying. I love, like how fruits are not independent. Like if you see any tree and if you see any fruit in that tree, you know that the fruit by itself cannot produce. It's dependent on the tree. It's dependent, like, for the fruit to grow and to blossom and to come to the fullness. The fruit always depends on the vine, on the branches, on the entire tree to yield that fruit. And God is saying, my life that is within you, I love to enjoy, because you're my paradise garden. My life within you will become, my life within her will become your feast. So God is saying to the bride, to the heart of the bride, He's saying, my life within her will become your feast. I love the description, feast is a place where there is celebration. Feast is a place where everybody is enjoying, where everybody is beautifully having, having joy. They're celebrating over something. And Jesus says that my life within my bride's heart will be a feast unto you. So when Christ lives inside of our heart, we will be a joy to the person who is around us. If we go in a place where somebody is struggling with peacelessness, our presence, because of the life of Jesus inside of us, the presence, His peace will flow from within us to them, and they will experience the presence of God, because we carry His presence into that atmosphere. We carry Him because He lives inside of us. And when the world needs peace, Jesus is able to release that peace because we carry Him inside our heart. And He's saying, my life within her will become your feast. How beautiful. I love that verse. And when I look at that, I just see that, the beautiful bride overflowing with His life, that is with Jesus' life, is to be given to others, even as Jesus was given to us by the Father. Like how Jesus was given to us by the Father, the same way the bride is also given to the nations. Now she has become a feast for the nations, wine to cheer the hearts of others. So wine is usually used for cheering, and the bride's heart, that is our heart, God is using us to cheer others' hearts. And in verse 2, chapter 5 verse 2, He describes His love for the Shulamite bride by saying, for my heaviness and tears are more than I can bear. I have spent myself for you throughout the dark night. When I was reading this verse, I could just, in my heart, I could just see the picture of Jesus going through that dark night for us. Like that night, if you look at Jesus, that night he was looking at you and me, and he went through the dark night because he loved us so much. The verse describes Jesus remembering us as a joy before he went through the cross, because he considered us a joy, he was able to endure the cross. And in Songs of Solomon chapter 5 verse 3 to 5 it says, I have already, this is the bride saying, I have already laid aside my own garments for you. How could I take them up again, since I have yielded my righteousness to you? So when I look at her, when I saw this verse, I was thinking, usually the garments talk about the righteousness. So the bride is saying, I have laid aside my filthy garments, self-righteousness or just unrighteousness, whatever the garments were there, I have laid it aside, and I have, instead of filthy garments, now I have worn your righteousness. So I wear your righteousness. So how can I once again lay it aside? It's so beautiful. I like them. How could I take them up again? So I have laid my garments aside, and I have taken your righteousness. How will I once again lay it aside? So beautiful. So beautiful. It's a prophetic representation of how we lay aside our self-righteousness or unrighteous garments and have taken up Jesus' righteousness. Yes. And she goes on to say, you have cleansed my life and taken me so far. Isn't that enough? My beloved reached into me to unlock my heart. The core of my very being trembled at his touch. How my soul melted when he spoke to me. My spirit arose to open for more of his touch. As I surrendered to him, I began to sense his fragrance, the fragrance of his suffering love. It was the sense of myrrh flowing all through me. Wow, wow. If you go through the end of the entire chapter in chapter 5, we see that, Shulamite bride over here, she's coming to a experiential encounter with Jesus. She's encountering Jesus for herself. She's talking from her experiences, from her encounter, not just about hearing, but a deep encounter, and she's speaking from her encounter of what Jesus meant to her, of like how she encountered Jesus. And I love all the prophetic pictures that are there in this Passion Translation. It talks about the life of Jesus inside of her. It talks about her heart becoming a paradise garden, her life becoming a feast to others, her life becoming like a wine to cheer others up, and the picture of laying aside her self-righteousness or unrighteousness and taking up the righteousness of Jesus on her, and the love that God has laid down on the cross and suffered for the bride. That dark night, he went through that suffering because he looked at us and he saw that we were the joy, and that's the reason he endured the cross, because we were a joy to him. He saw us, so he was able to endure the cross. And all this she speaks from an experience. All this she speaks from a genuine encounter with God, not something that she read, not something that she heard, but something that she deeply and personally encountered Jesus. I love that. I love that about chapter 5.